From there, give me Leviticus 23:2. Being committed to race. Still dealing with that. Race is a heavy thing. It is a heavy thing.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts.
Now the word we went out of there is convocations. As the Israelites, as a race, we are commanded to gather ourselves together. That's what convocation means, gathering, a holy gathering. Oh, I don't like being around my own people. There's something wrong with you, brother, sister. You ever see them coons that be the only nigga in the crowd? I can't stand them. Some of y'all in here, you was that Negro. You was him or you was her. The only spot amongst white folks. When we go out to eat sometimes, you'll see all of Israel, we be sitting, be 20 of us in a restaurant. You'll see 5 Edomites walking with one coon in the back, and he or she feels so uncomfortable when they see us. They don't know we Israel, but it's the spirit.
Y'all know exactly what we're talking about.
Right. We all with our race, chilling out, having a good time. You with the enemy, the ones that destroyed our people. You hanging with them. You got to be kidding me.
Sometimes you try to go into the psyche of the Negro when he's nervous.
Exactly.
I do that sometimes, Bishop. Just imagine all of us are sitting in the area, we got our garments on, right? Check it out now.
That happened on the quest. When we on the quest, that happened.
Wow.
We sitting in our garments, the nations be
and
looking.
a whole bunch of Edomites were one Negro.
Right.
And when they walk by with him, and they all see us in our garments and all of that, the Negro gets super uncomfortable. Why? Because they're going to go to him and they're going to ask questions.
That happened in Africa, in Ghana. Remember the sister?
Too. You remember that?
What happened?
No, in Ghana, when the sister came to sit with us,
Right.
when the white woman came, she was feeling comfortable. She said, you asked her a question, she said, I could not answer that.
Right.
But she said, I know that, but I could not answer that right now.
Remember the next day, there was a black woman that they said, y'all probably seen the video. There was a black woman that says I forgot where she was from. Anyway, all the Edomites came in her church group. They all went in the next room. And we were all looking, and the Edomites didn't say nothing to us. The Jake, she looked, she kept her head down, went in the room. Then she came out, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Because they know they in the wrong spirit.
That's the point right there. Y'all understand what we're saying? Because the Negro, he's so uncomfortable because he has to speak negative against us while they're there. He cannot say, those are my brothers and they're about helping my people. He can't say that at all. They're going to be like, what?
You remember, to show you in Liberia, you remember the hotel we came, you remember there was a few white people inside with a Jake, that Jake keep looking. Yeah, she was uncomfortable because I think in Liberia they never see black people in talk with authority. Right. You remember we decided, we said, why are we talking that low? Right. We have to talk with authority, we pay here. You understand? Man, but that was kind of scared to see black people with authority because in Liberia you don't have that, man. You understand? They don't give him that authority.
Exactly. Go to Hebrews 10:25. Coming together without problems. And it's a rarity that black people can get together, black and Latino get together without a fight. And the nations are shocked when they see that thing. Like at Passover. They said, we never seen this before. Because they said, we're going to need police out here. And Bishop, you don't need, no, we don't, we police ourselves. We know how to act. We don't need the police around us. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, our race together. Go ahead.
As the manner of some is.
I want all you rejects out there online. You know you ran from this truth. You joined with the enemies of your race, as you are as the manner of some is. That's you, brother, sister. That's you. Read that again.
Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another.
Exhorting one another. Exhort your race daily. Go ahead.
And so much the more as ye see the day approaching.
We see the day of the Lord approaching. We see what's happening in the world. So you men and women that ran up out of this truth to join with your enemies, to make parodies and jokes about slavery, it's going to be fire for your black behind. Fire for you.
You know what's amazing? Read the last sentence of that verse.
As ye see the day approaching.
Esau has got into them Negroes' head that made them think that the day of the Lord ain't coming.
Right.
That's the reason why they acting stupid like this here. They don't see the day of the Lord coming. The scriptures is telling you plain that especially in these last days, as you see the judgment getting ready to come down, the more you should be in league with what we're reading in the scriptures. When you get to the point where you disregard it, that means he has changed your whole mentality toward the Bible.
Exactly. Psalms 133:1.
Psalms chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity.
How beautiful, how good, how pleasant it is for your race to dwell together in unity. That's what he's saying. That your race is your brethren. That's what it's talking about. Dwelling together in unity. Not fussing, not fighting, not arguing, no fisticuffs, but dwelling in unity. That's what the Lord requires of us, okay? From there, give me Psalms 119. Psalms 119, and we want verse 74.
Psalms 119, verse 74. They that fear thee will be glad when they see me.
Those that are committed to God will be glad when they see the men and women of their race. That's what David is saying. Why? Because we're in league with one another. We're committed to God in race, and so are you. We are like-minded. It said, they that fear thee will be glad when they see me. Why?
Because I have hoped in thy word.
We're in one mind. That's why. You don't want to be that brother or that sister that when you come around, everybody goes, look at this, here he come, here she come, oh God. You don't want to be that person who nobody can't stand because you are not committed to God nor race. You're that reject brother. You're that reject sister. You on the apologetic show. You're a reject, okay? Jump down to verse 79.
Let those that fear thee turn unto me.
That's all we want. Those that are committed to God, turn unto us. Come to us. Come on.
And those that have known thy testimony.
And those that have known thy testimony. So if you fear the Lord, come. That's what David was saying. Come, come, come. We have the same mindset. Zephaniah 2:1.
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
That's right.
Yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
O race not desired. Everybody hates the black and Latin man and woman. Everybody can't stand it. They can't stand our guts. But you got a snake oil salesman. I like the way Daniela said that thing. A snake oil salesman talking about Jesus loves you. This I know, for the Bible tells you so. And draw out dumb black women and dumb black men and hate their race now. Despise their race. Despise God and race.
Hey, got them thinking that they're desired now.
Right.
Got them sitting on a panel on this interview as if they desire you. And they all, in the back of their mind, they all calling you nigga.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly what's happening. They calling you nigga. They said, you are a nigga, but we going to smile with you.
Wait till the white man get mad
Exactly.
Yeah, you notice that, even though when they talk like that, the other brothers from different camp, I'm glad they're getting on IUIC. Niggas don't even realize they get up on Israel. That's how dumb our people are. I think they're getting on. No, they're getting on Israel. The enemy is against us, you dumb Negroes.
Ezekiel 3:11. Be committed to God and race. Be committed to God and race. It's very important, paramount. Read that.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 11. And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people.
Go.
And
the prophets were sent out to who? Read that again.
unto the children of thy people.
Unto your race. Unto your race. So don't tell me the Bible ain't talking about race. Race is the children of your people. Race is your brethren. Race is your neighbor. Read that again.
And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them and tell them, thus saith the Lord God, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Whether they will hear this truth or whether they will reject it. He said, go to your race. Go to the children of the captivity. Those that went through colonialism and the slave trade. Go to them, the children of your race. That's the prophet's job, has always been that thing. And it didn't change in the New Testament. Matthew 15:24. It did not change, brother. It did not change, sister. Read that.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right. Now watch this, Matthew 1:21.
And Matthew chapter 1, verse 21. And she shall
That's the angel speaking. Watch what the angel says to Mary.
and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus.
Uh-oh.
For he shall save his people
He shall save his race
from their sins.
from their sins. He shall save his race from their sins. That's what his people translates to. His race. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
His race, his people translates to his race, his nation. From there, Daniel 2:44.
Oh, man, that's the one I was thinking about.
Oh, yeah?
Daniel chapter 2, verse 44.
Start at 43.
Verse 43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men.
That's the assimilation of all nations here in America, in Europe. That's what it's talking about. And shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, mean all cultures, all nations mingle together. Go ahead.
But they shall not cleave one to another.
Can somebody tell the Christian apologetics that?
So all the people on that doo-doo squad,
The doodoo squad?
the doo-doo squad, they're sitting up there trying to put all kinds of nations in it. The Most High is telling you that that mess don't mean
It
nothing.
means nothing. Go ahead.
But they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
So the Christian religion of all nations, democracy of all nations being coming together as one, they shall not cleave one to another. That's the Bible prophecy. That's right. Go ahead.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom,
That's what's happening now. As you see Israel rise up, it's the beginning of our kingdom. Go ahead.
which shall never be destroyed.
That's why they can't stop this truth. You might kill me. You might kill the deacons or whoever, but you ain't stopping this truth. There's 144,000 leaders, and this truth going to keep going
Bishop,
on.
and when we come back, we're coming back with a rope to hang you. Okay?
Read 44 again.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
Wait a minute. It ain't for the white man, the Chinese man, the Arabs. It said what in the kingdom?
And the kingdom shall not be left to other people.
It shall not be left to other races. It shall not be left to other races. Go ahead.
But it shall break in pieces.
But the Israelites' kingdom shall what?
Break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. And it shall stand forever.
This is why they hate the Bible. This is why they hate us. Because we're going to come with the scripts. We're going to keep it 100.
That right there just destroys Christianity 100%.
Exactly.
All that mess that they talk about in the church is evaporated by what we just read here.
Exactly. Daniel 7:27.
Daniel chapter 7 verse 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom.
The kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom. Go ahead.
Under the whole heaven.
Meaning on the entire planet earth.
Shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High.
Shall be given to the race of the Israelites. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. And all dominions.
And all other races.
Shall serve and obey him.
Shall serve and obey the Lord. That's what it's saying. Everybody understand that? God's plan, his purpose is to give the entire planet earth back to the Israelites. Y'all the rulers now. Have at it. It's the world is yours. Like Lauryn Hill said. I like that song, Lauryn Hill's, if I ruled the world, I free all my sons. I love that thing. I get chills when I hear her sing that thing. Because when I think about our people to this day in captivity in Libya, Yemen, Mauritania, Saudi Arabia, and other places, I can't wait till we rule the world. We're going to free all our sons and daughters. And we ain't going to play with the other nations either. We don't want to hear, sorry, I didn't know. Oh, no. Because as this gospel goes out, oh, you know very well who you got in captivity.
Hey, good news. What's good news for us is not good news for everybody else. You understand?
Hey, give me that in Corinthians. That this gospel is the smell of life to us and the smell of death to the other nations. This is why these John Mark Reiser and these other nations despise us teaching this truth. You know what I'm talking about, Officer Captain Jan? It says savor, S-A-V-O-U-R, savor of death.
Right. That's why you got a lot of people come against us when we teach this truth. Why? Because it's not good news for them. You understand?
2 Corinthians 2.
And the hate that they have for us is spiritual in the sense. Let me explain what I mean while the brothers look for them scriptures. If we all put down the gospel today and went back out into the world, we'd be loved.
Right.
Okay? Only for a moment. Because once we become destroyed, then they won't talk to us no more. Just like a lot of these brothers and sisters that's left, join these evil people, talk about something, come on into Christianity. When they got so tangled up in their evil, you don't even hear about them no more. They just discarded them and dropped them off.
2 Corinthians 2. Let's start at verse 14, Captain.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14.
Watch this.
Now thanks be unto God, which always causeth us to triumph in Christ.
Wherever we go, we triumph in Christ. Go ahead.
And maketh manifest the savor of
The word savor means smell. The word savor, S-A-V-O-U-R, means smell. Now, when there's an I there, that means savior, which is like a Messiah. But this says savor, which means smell or odor. Read that again.
And maketh manifest the savor of his knowledge by us in every place.
Wherever we go, brothers and sisters, wherever we go in this truth, we make known the knowledge of God by the smell, the savor, the odor of this truth is made manifest. Go ahead.
For we are unto God a sweet savor of Christ.
We are unto the Lord like a sweet smell, a sweet aroma. When he hears us teach this gospel, he said, my servants is doing the work. I smell that sweet aroma. Go ahead.
In them that are saved and in them that perish.
So we are sweet savor of Christ in them that are saved and in them that perish. Watch this. Go ahead.
To the one, we are the savor of death unto death.
When Esau and the other nations hear this truth, they say, I smell death. You hear what they're preaching? That's death to us.
Obadiah is deaf to them,
Exactly.
so you can understand. That's what that is. That's an example of what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Certain scriptures tear their behinds to pieces.
Exactly. And there's no getting around
There's
it.
no getting around it. That Bible gonna stay the same until your behind is dead.
Exactly.
You ain't getting out of this.
Read that again.
To the one, we are the savor of death unto death.
Death unto death. Go ahead.
And to the other, the savor of life unto life.
And to the others, the downtrodden, the oppressed, hear this gospel. They said that smells like life. I've been waiting to hear this all my life. Life unto life. Go ahead.
And who is sufficient for these things?
Who's sufficient to understand this? Who is able to comprehend that this gospel is life to us, but death to the other nations? Okay. Go ahead.
For we are not as many which corrupt the word of God.
We are not going to corrupt the Bible. What it says, we're going to preach it. What it says, we're going to read it word for word, line upon line. Here a little and there a little. We are not like these Christian apologists that don't read the King James Version. Let's go to the NIV where words are changed and scriptures are left out. Let's read this. That's what they do. They leave out scriptures. Okay, give me that. Type in Google. Go to Google. Go to Google. Just type in Matthew 18:11, I think it is. That's what they do. Type in Matthew 18, I think if I got it right.
Yeah, that's it. 18:11. 18:11.
Let's see what pop up. Yeah, let me see what that says there. As a Bible software company, Olive Tree does not make any decision to remove verses from any Bible. We publish Bibles as we receive them from the publisher without altering the text in any way. Modern scholars and translators of Bibles, like the NIV, New International Version, and ESV, intentionally decide to leave out verses like Matthew 18:11.
The question is, what was their intention? What was their intention? First of all, what is the verse that they left out?
Right there in the next one.
No. What does open it up? What does it say?
Right there. It says
For
it.
the Son, right? It said, "For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost.
Exactly.
So they intentionally left that out because of the message that it sends.
So this is why the Christian apologetics, they only want the NIV.
Exactly.
They don't want the King James Version Bible. And they twist, like Deuteronomy 28:68.
Right. That's the
they
best
twist
one.
that scripture and say you would seek to sell yourselves, but nobody wants to buy you.
Right.
And go, see? These are some wicked devils out there. Wicked devils, okay? But we're going to hold on to our records.
Exactly. And the evil Negroes that's sitting on these so-called panels,
The
they
doodle
notice.
squad.
On the doodle squad,
Right.
they notice. They know, but they are so scared to even say anything.
Exactly.
They'll sit there and acquiesce to that vomit.
Massa might get mad with me if I go against
Exactly.
what he say.
Exactly.
I remember somebody wrote to some of those stupid black people that ran up out of here and said, what color is Christ? And they refused to answer. Do you celebrate Passover?
Y'all
They
hear this?
refused to
They
answer.
and they know the answers in the Bible.
Exactly.
But they cannot upset Massa.
Exactly. So read that again, Officer Captain Young.
2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 17. For we are not as many which corrupt the word of God, but as of sincerity, but as of God, in the sight of God, speak we in Christ.
So the reason why the Negroes cannot answer, because their answer in truth will be the smell of death to them.
They got, like in Ghana, when you read the scripture to the sister who was working with the Edomites, we said, what does that mean? She said, I know what it means, but I cannot say. That's what she said, because she knew it was death to them. Life to her, but death to them. Okay, get chapter 8 and verse 7.
Tobit chapter 8, verse 7. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust.
I take not this my sister for lust. Let me tell you about lust. Lust is wanting sex only for a night. That's what lust is. Sex for the night. With no responsibilities, nothing. But love is wanting to grow old with somebody. There's a difference. Read that again.
Tobit chapter 8, verse 7. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly. Therefore, mercifully ordained that we may become aged together.
So you know the difference between lust and love. Lust is, I just want sex. That's it. I don't want to be married to you. I don't want that. You got sisters that got that same mindset. Some of you brothers too. I don't want there's no, what's it called? No strings attached. What is that called? Friends with benefits. That's it. That's wicked. That's filth. That's evil as hell. Lust is temporary. Love is forever. Get me Sirach 9 and 9. I mean, not Sirach. Ecclesiastes 9 and 9 in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 9.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9. Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of
You
thy
brothers
vanity.
hear what the Lord's saying? I want this to marinate in you men's mind. Read that again.
Live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity.
All the days of the life of your vanity. That means as long as you live. It says vanity because our lifespan is short. That's why it's calling it vanity. It says live joyfully with her. Have fun, the Lord is saying. That's what he's commanding us there. To have a good time with your wife, okay? From there, get Genesis 26 and 8. Where we at?
Genesis chapter 26, verse 8. And it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out at a window.
Because I think this was Isaac, right? Was this Isaac?
Yes.
He had told him that was his sister, just like Abraham had did. So Abimelech looks out of the window, and what happens?
And saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah his wife.
He was sporting with Rebekah his wife. Go ahead.
And Abimelech called Isaac and said, behold, of a surety she is thy wife. And how saidest thou, she is my sister?
So he could tell by the way he was playing with Rebekah, nah, that's not your sister. You don't play with a sister like that. That's your wife. So Isaac was having a good time with his wife without the sex. You know, sometimes you brothers, you want to just, do things with your hands. You know, you like it, you like it. You like that, you like that, you like that.
Malachi,
Malachi
know what you
know what I'm talking about. You like that? You like that? You like it? So when Abimelech saw this thing, he said, nah, that ain't true. You don't do that with your sister. That's your wife, brother. I know that's your wife. So from there, 1 Corinthians 7, verse 28. So these are things, brothers, when you are committed to God, race, and marriage. When you're committed to your marriage, you must, when you have those instruments of covenants, those written documentation, okay, you want to grow old with this woman, have fun. Have fun, have fun, have fun. That's what it's saying. Have a good time. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28.
But,
and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned.
If you brothers get married, you haven't sinned. Go ahead.
And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned.
And if a sister gets married, she has not sinned. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
Yeah, you're going to have trouble in the flesh. Those are your arguments. And the arguments generally are over money. A lot of times it's money. That's a large majority of arguings. Go ahead.
But I spare you.
But I spare you. I'm warning you. Go ahead.
But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
The time is short. Listen good.
It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
Now, that does not mean neglect your wife. That means the commitment to God is first. I'm going to say it again. Your commitment to God Almighty comes first before marriage. That's what he was saying. Read it again.
But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
Because sometimes you get married. Some of you brothers know what I'm about to say. You get married to a woman who is not revolutionary minded. She's not committed to God nor race, and you're stuck with her. Now you're going to do God's work. Why you got to go out? Why you got to teach their Bible? Why you got to do that? Why don't you just stay home with me and the kids? Just stay home. Why are you always going out? See, you're neglecting me. You're neglecting me. That's what they say. So you, unfortunately, were stuck with this non-revolutionary minded woman, this woman not committed to God and or race. You stuck. That's your cross to bear, brother.
Can I give you another one, Bishop?
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of brothers who was putting in work with us when they came here, and as soon as they got married, now they pull back. Years and years they was here single, okay, and they was the first one to do everything that the body needed, and as soon as they get a wife, now you can't find them no more. Now it's excuses. Now they don't answer their phone. Okay, everything is my wife, my wife, my wife. And upon examining that, you know when that problem happens? When a brother picks a sister that ain't got no friends. And this is what I mean. You'll have some sisters that come in here and they don't talk to nobody. They'll come year after year after year and they're not friends with any of the other sisters. They don't talk to nobody else. So when they do get married to that brother, guess who they want to monopolize all their time? Him. Okay, because the sisters who have friends and they're throughout the congregation and they talk and they're cordial and they interact, they'll be like, oh, go ahead, honey, don't worry. I'm going to talk with so-and-so. I'll go with so-and-so. So-and-so could come with me to do this. They're not going to monopolize their husband time. But there's some sisters here that's antisocial, and they get that man, and then everything they nitpicking, everything is doing. Why you always got to do everything for the school? Why so-and-so can't do it? Why it always has to be you? So you got to watch those people like that.
Right. So she's not committed to God or race.
No,
at
she
all.
came here only for a man.
Yep.
And you only see that when she gets the man and she pulls him away from doing God's work.
Exactly. Right. Read that again.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
So that, again, that does not mean neglect your wife. It means your commitment to God comes first. That's all it's saying. Go ahead.
And they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not.
So let your life understand this thing, that your weeping comes secondary to your commitment to God. Your rejoicing is secondary to your commitment to God. Paul is simply telling us the mission that the Most High put us on is paramount, is first and foremost. Go ahead.
And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
So don't get too comfortable abusing this world because it's going to pass away. Read.
But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belongeth to the Lord, how he may please the Lord.
So that's what Deacon Asaph was saying. Before some of you brothers get married, you're hot in this truth for the Lord. You're doing the work. You're about God's business. You are truly committed to God and race. Go ahead.
But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world, how he may please his wife.
Now, he's not saying it in a negative. He's just saying balance your life out. You must be committed to God and race. Under race comes your brethren and your wife. You must be well balanced. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So you got to learn the things your wife likes. What do you want to do, babe? Let's go. This day here is for you, hon. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to do this for you. We're going to do that. What do you say, sir?
I wanted to ask them a question because they said that they agree with what you just said, right? There was a prophet in the Bible that the Lord felt that his wife was an interference to the work. He said to him that, behold, I take away the desire of thine eye with a stroke, and just killed her. Okay, so I'm just showing you, like, you look on YouTube, a whole bunch of women are going and complaining that the way that the men are in IUIC, that's the women we talking about. Now they're on YouTube crying, saying that we did something to their marriage. Okay, and we're only dealing with the men the way the Bible says the men are supposed to be dealt with. Your commitment to the church is supposed to be first. And you see an example of those weeping women that hate God and hate their nation. And all they came into the Bible for was a relationship. You're seeing them spew their evil and their hatred for their nation and for this truth on YouTube now.
I'm going to show them, Asaph. Give me the video, Discomforter Cult.
Okay.
Now, this isn't our congregation. This is from another congregation. Now, there's some things, I'm going to show you the video, that we do not teach and we don't agree with, but I want you to listen to the complaints that comes up. We're going to dissect it in a moment. I just want from the beginning to 5 minutes, because it's kind of long. It's 19 minutes. We just want the first 5 minutes, all right? Watch this.
On divorce court today. This couple met in the Army and broke up over a child. Years later, Tonya fell back in love with Nathaniel and proposed. But she says the rules in his religion are killing their marriage. Tonya Johnson and Nathaniel Johnson have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toller to resolve. Testimony in divorce court starts now.
Mrs. Johnson, you and Mr. Johnson have been married for a while, but I understand that you met 30 years ago.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you went out 30 years ago, and then you reconnected, got married in 2011, but it's not working out. Why don't you... And you say it's because of his religion and that it's ruining everything. Why don't you explain to me what that problem is?
Your Honor, never in my life would I think that I would see and witness a black cult. They believe that they are the original true Jews.
Where are you from?
Philadelphia.
Pause.
City of brotherly love.
So the first attack is to say that we're the chosen people is a cult.
Exactly.
As long as we stay niggas and spics, we good. We are good. And some of you get a wife like this right here. This is what Deacon Asaph was talking about. You get hooked up with a Gila monster right there.
You could call yourself Asiatic. You could call yourself Nubian.
Right.
You could call yourself anything else but the chosen people of God.
Right.
You black women are evil.
Hey, Deacon, you can even go as far as saying I'm a man, but I feel like a woman.
Okay? And that's why...
And they'll be like, no, you're okay.
You're fine.
You're fine.
You're just confused right now, but you're fine.
They won't even say it's confused.
That's why the scriptures say, from the woman is the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay? Because their mindset is not for their nation. If any other nation claimed up to be the chosen people of God, the woman would support them. The woman would support them 100%.
Now, you notice the judge said, where are you from? He said, Philadelphia. And the whole audience laughed him to scorn. Watch. Play on.
Love, John.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Explain the parameters
They
of
were
this
just-
religion.
Just too many rules. We weren't allowed to consummate our marriage.
What do? They tell you at the ceremony you can't have sex or what?
We were not allowed to be married in where they perform their services because I don't believe it's a church.
Okay.
Where they had their services, I was not allowed. We had a civil ceremony, and the person they worship, the comforter, tells them that women are unclean. You have no position of authority. They don't respect our laws. That they have their own sector, and that I'm allowed to.
Pause. So, number one, we don't teach that here in IUIC. Now, they teach that over at their school. So, some people believe that is the way. Okay, if you believe that's the way. But what I want you to just pay close attention to what she's saying. Go ahead.
Our laws, that they have their own sector, and that I'm allowed to pleasure him, but he's not allowed to pleasure me.
Stop.
You're not allowed.
So, wow, oh, suki. So it's okay for the woman to go down south on you, but it's not okay for you to go down south on her. So that was one of the issues in the marriage.
Hey, Bishop, that sound like some Benjamin thing.
Yeah, Benjamin
some
be saying
Jamaican.
that. Me not do that. Me don't do
That
that.
sound like some Jamaican thing right there.
Benjamin don't do it with their wives, but they do it.
Bishop,
Benjamin nasty. I'm telling you.
Bishop, you know what's crazy about that? Because people say that we get on other organizations. But it says in the scriptures to defraud ye not one the other. It's in the commandments that you're supposed to give your wife pleasure and your wife pleasures you. So I'm just showing you. Okay? If you don't know the Bible, that's when conditions like that occur. They exist.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Allowed to have intimate relations during the Sabbath, which is Friday at sundown
Yes.
to Saturday sundown.
Correct.
Now,
And we
now,
were-
now, hang on. But you can pleasure them during that period of time, but you can't have sexual intercourse
No. I'm not allowed to do anything
during that time.
during the Sabbath. Don't touch, don't look, don't smell, don't
No,
kiss.
nothing.
Nothing.
But in general, when it's not the Sabbath,
Yeah.
Pause. When does the script, let me ask, y'all raise your hand if you know the answer. When does the Bible say not to have sex with your wife? I see 4 hands. Okay. I'm going to go in the back. Way in the back. Pick somebody in the back. Here's a non-married brother going to give us the answer.
Shalom, leadership.
Shalom.
Prayer and
Can you
fasting.
put the camera on him?
Soldier Seth.
Soldier Seth. Go ahead, Soldier.
Only when it's prayer and fasting.
Very good. Can we get that real quick? Prayer and fasting. 1 Corinthians, it was the 7.
1 Corinthians
7 and 5.
chapter 7, verse 5, right? Defraud ye not one the other, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again,
Sexually.
that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency.
Now, where they get the thought of not having sex on the Sabbath is in Leviticus 15, if I'm not mistaken. Leviticus 15 and verse 31. Watch this. Now, let's say you were going to go to the Sabbath. You had to go to the temple, the tabernacle. Read this, Leviticus 15:31.
Leviticus chapter 15, verse 31. Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them.
So when the tabernacle was among us, if we had sex, we were unclean until the evening. You were not allowed to enter the tabernacle. If you had sex and went into the tabernacle, you were to be put to death. Is the tabernacle here today?
No, sir.
No. And but in case any of y'all think this is not the tabernacle. It ain't. You got roaches and spiders all. This ain't the tabernacle.
Also, Bishop, they only go to that. You couldn't go there if you had a cut, if you had a flat nose, if you had deformities. There were strict rules concerning coming into the temple. It wasn't just sexual relations, but they only go to that verse there to show you they don't read.
Exactly. Back to the video.
Yes.
What are the rules about sex that you can pleasure him, but not the other way around?
Exactly, and I'm a very sexual being. I mean, before he joined this cult, we could do it from the ceiling. We did it from A to B. I mean, that's what attracted me to him. That's my sexual chocolate.
She just rolled it on out there. You go, Mrs. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, I'm going to ask you this. Did she get that part right about you're supposed to enjoy sex and she's not, or did she get that wrong?
In a sense, yes, and in a sense, no.
Okay, explain it to me.
In the faith that I'm in, certain acts we could not do.
Oh.
In the Bible, it talks about being lascivious.
Is she allowed to pleasure you in certain ways that you are not allowed to pleasure her?
This is true.
Is this a Bible-based religion, or
yes,
what?
It is.
I don't know what Bible their religion, but the God that I serve said that the marriage bed cannot be defiled. Anything you want to do to your husband, as long as you're married within the eyes of God, which we weren't, because it was a civil ceremony.
Now pause it right there.
Well, what if you...
Now remember, the brother said we are not to do lascivious acts. Can we look up the word lascivious? Now I told y'all that some of these camps don't understand lascivious. They don't understand what it means. Lasciviousness. L-A-S-C-I-V-I-O-U-S. L-A-S-C-I-V. There it is right there. It's right there. Click it. Let's go down to that word. It says, of a person, man, or just a feeling or revealing an overt and often offensive sexual desire. The key is offensive. Offensive to God. Things that offend God is recorded where? Regarding sex. Where are the offensive sex acts recorded? Leviticus chapter 18. That's what's recorded. Okay. And you have to stick to what it says. Don't add your taste. I remember when we was young, one of the priests, I ain't gonna mention his name, he said it's a sin for a woman to ride the man on top. For the man to lay on the bed and the woman to be on top. He said that was a sin. Now half of us is like, he's crazy. We didn't voice it, but we were saying, oh no, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you would have said, sir, can I have the scripture? You would have said, get out.
Yep, exactly.
No
exactly.
scripture. There's no scripture for that. The answer is get out.
Exactly.
Okay?
Back to the video.
Accidentally give her pleasure. Is that the sin?
Then I'm committing the sin.
Seriously?
Yes. So she said, the way she said it is not the way it is. We have certain laws that come straight from the Bible.
Such
certain things
as?
we don't do as we're supposed to be a holy people. And well, she said the comforter, we don't worship the comforter.
Well, who is the comforter?
Comforter, he is one of the heads of our church.
He's like a minister?
He's like a minister.
Uh-huh.
But he guides us, gives us more understanding on the scriptures. And he's not only the one there, he have other leaders there that sits with him. And we go over scriptures. We try to get the understanding of them.
So do you have to, and I know I'm stuck on this sex issue, but it's just killing me. Do you have to have the comforter's specific permission to perform particular sexual acts?
No. We don't go to him for that.
You don't go to...
No, we don't.
But you know what's cool and what's not cool.
We know what's cool and what's not cool.
They have to give 20%. If you don't give 20%, they called us at home one night because he didn't tithe. You're not allowed to
When did they
attend
do that, babe? When did they do that? You gotta explain that one to me. I don't remember that one. Explain that one.
It wasn't the comforter that called you, but someone from your institution called and asked why you weren't in service.
I understand that they are not allowed to celebrate.
Oh, no, play this. I want this. Go ahead.
Most holidays.
I'm sorry. So somebody from that church called her and said, where were you? You weren't around. You know you got to pay the 20%. That's what they would do. Do we do that here? No. Okay, all praises.
Do we ask anybody for money here? No. Does a collection plate go through this audience here? No. You give of your free will. Because a lot of people are lying now, and I'm going to get them, about making things up about how funds are collected. Okay? And the big mistake that they're making is they think we operate the way everybody else operates.
and asked why you were in service.
I understand that they are not allowed to celebrate most holidays.
They don't celebrate any holidays. And I am African American, if it's not obvious, and we fellowship. We fellowship. My family, we're from the South, we fellowship. We get together. My mother's a single parent of 3 children. It brings her pleasure, although I don't know why. Every holiday for us to get together, our children, the children's children, and all of us fit in that one little house, and we fellowship. We don't worship. We don't read the Bible. We fellowship. We love each other.
Just have fun. You get together and enjoy.
That's not allowed.
Mr. Johnson, is that accurate?
True either.
Well,
We
Mr.
do
Johnson,
celebrate
tell me what is true.
We call them high holy days.
Okay, what are the
in
high
Bible.
holy days?
Say like Passover. You celebrate Easter, we celebrate Passover.
Okay.
You celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Okay. So, are you Jewish?
And yeah.
Well, now Judaism is a mainstream religion, Ms. Johnson. I mean, the sex part I've never heard about in Judaism before.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
But how does it differ?
Like I said, the God that I serve said nothing done between a man and a wife can be unholy. You
just really want some better sex, don't you? You really do.
So her issues, the sex is one thing, because the judge didn't go with her with the holiday thing, because some of y'all get with these women and they don't believe in celebrating Passover or any of God's high. The Most High gave us 52 Sabbaths, about 12 festival days, and that's not enough. All these days we got, they want Christmas, they want Easter, they want New Year's, and call you in a cult if you don't celebrate. Don't be married with women like that, brothers. Understand that thing. I hope y'all understand. I know who in here is stuck to a woman like that? Let me see. Raise your hand.
Put your hand up.
Put your hand up.
At least he
okay,
admitted
he's
it.
honest.
Who else?
One brother stuck like that. Uriel just stood up. But we know some of the brothers online is stuck to women like that. And you got to bear that cross till y'all can work that thing out, okay? But you'll be in court, you'll tell all your business. Y'all see that thing?
That's right.
Okay. So now.
And I want to make a point, Bishop. You do have Europeans who are Jewish that have strange practices that they make up. A lot of stuff they make up, and they keep Hanukkah, they keep Passover, they keep Purim, they keep feasts, they do all those things.
They circumcise with their teeth.
They circumcise with their mouth. They do nasty stuff. But guess what? You'll never see that woman on YouTube trying to tear them down. Only the black woman is that evil to do something like that.
I'm glad you said that thing.
Okay?
That's 100%.
You have to look them up. The bad things, horrible things are going on in those Jewish organizations. They get arrested all the time. Sex trafficking, child molestation, underage relationships, a whole bunch of stuff. The only difference is their woman won't go on YouTube and try to slander them and tear them down.
Exactly. Only our evil woman does that. She's the only one that does that. That's why in this truth you got to learn. See, the so-called Jewish woman learns to be committed to God and race. Our women, a lot of them, you're going to find out, I always say this, a lot of American black women are not committed to God and race. They say they are, but they're not. You see the women outside of America more committed than the ones that grew up here. Okay,
like when y'all went overseas, Bishop, how they came up to you.
Yes.
And when they came with respect.
Yep.
Okay,
Exactly.
You're not going to see that here.
Exactly.
What is the nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.